This video explains how to create calculated questions in Moodle LMS. With calculated questions, you can present a problem containing a data set that can be customized for each student. Students are required to enter their calculated answers in the provided spaces. The questions can be generated within the pre-existing categories of the question bank, or as fresh questions within a quiz. If you have already created the quiz, you can access the various types of questions by selecting Edit Quiz. Otherwise, you can access types of questions by going to the question bank in the course administration. If you are unfamiliar with the question bank, there is a video tutorial available. The link to it is in the description. From this window, the calculated type is selected and added. In the window that appears after adding the question, you should identify the question category of the question bank, in which the question is stored, and click on the Update the Category button. Also give a name to the question. In this box you can notice the statement, "No shared wildcard in this category." This indicates that the variables or wildcards present are specific to this questions and are not shared among other questions in the category. However, it is possible to have shared variables across other questions within the category, allowing you to establish connections between several questions. In the question text area, you should type the question you want the student to answer. It must include all the information they need to calculate an answer. It must contain at least one wildcard, typed inside curly braces. Data sets for wildcards are given later in the question setting process. To demonstrate the question setting, let us consider a simple question. Suppose we ask the students to calculate the area of a rectangle of which two sides are given as wildcards. As you can see, the wildcards are identified as X and Y for this question. In this window, the formula to calculate the answer is added, with the use of the wildcards. The formula is typed in a manner like how you type equations in the calculator. However, some mathematical functions are written in a unique way in the calculated questions. For instance, x to the power 3 is written as POW within brackets, x, 3. A list of available functions that can be used in writing equations can be found in the link given in the description. Here you should also select the tolerance for error that you will accept in the answer. The tolerance and the tolerance type settings combine to give a range of acceptable scores. So, if the tolerance equals T, the correct answer equals X, and the difference between the student's answer and the correct answer is dx, then the tolerance types are as follows. If you select nominal, the answers are marked as correct, if magnitude of dx less than or equal to T. If you select relative, the answers are marked as correct, if the magnitude of x divided by the correct answer is less or equal to T. Next, for answer display, determine the precision of the answer. Select the number of decimal places you want to use. The next item in the question setting process is units handling and units. There are three options in the unit handling. The first on is that units are not used at all. The second is that units are optional. If a unit is entered, it is used to convert the response to Unit 1 in the unit section, specified by the teacher before grading. The third one is that the units must be given, and will be graded. If you select this option, you need to specify how the units are given by the students. There are three ways the teacher can specify how the students give the units to the answer. First one is the text input element. In the second and third methods, the students have to select the correct one from several choices suggested by the teacher. These could be presented either as multiple choice selection or as a drop-down menu. The unit choices should be given in the unit section. All the choices should be correct. For each choice, the correct multiplier is given. The student should select the applicable choice depending upon the value they input. In this example, we have selected a multiple choice selection. Two possible units with multipliers have been given as square meter and square centimeter. The question setting process is still in progress. In the meantime, let's examine how the units operate when students respond to the question. There are two responses available here for examination. In the first response, the entered value is accurate. However, the selected unit, which is square centimeter, is incorrect. As a result, the student receives the previously specified penalty. To make this response correct, either the entered value should be 255,000, or the selected unit should be changed to square meter. After completing the units section, now you can save the question, and start the data sets adding process. Within this section, you have the option to indicate your preference for utilizing either existing private data sets or a new shared data set. Here, we opt for utilizing the existing private data set, as we do not wish to utilize a shared data set. Also, select the option, Do Not Synchronize, because we do not want to share the data with other questions. The subsequent step involves incorporating data sets into the question that will be used by the wildcards. There are two approaches for adding data sets. The first method involves manually adding data sets one by one. Alternatively, you have the option to allow Moodle to generate data sets automatically by specifying the ranges for each wildcard and indicating the desired number of data sets. In this section, you need to select the option Force Generation of Wildcards if you do not want to reuse previous ones. Then click on Add. The Moodle will add one data set. If desired, you have the flexibility to modify the values of the wildcards at this point, and repeat the process of adding data sets as many times as necessary. If you prefer Moodle to generate data sets automatically, you can begin at the top of the window, where you will find fields to input the minimum and maximum values for all wildcards. Additionally, you have the option to specify the distribution of values within the provided range. Afterward, navigate to the Add section located in the lower part of the window. Select Force Generation of only non-shared wildcards, or Force Generation of all wildcards depending on your needs. Select number of data sets you need, and click Add button. Now, you can proceed by selecting the number of data sets to be displayed and clicking on the Display button. This action will allow you to view the data sets along with their corresponding answers. You could also delete data sets if necessary. The Delete button is visible only after the data sets are added. Now save the question. You now have the option to preview the question either in the question bank, or within the quiz itself. Here are two examples of questions, each with different sets of data values. Next, let us see how to set up calculated question in a course of Moodle starting from the question bank.